Good evening and welcome to Human Unity Project Private Study Group, which is part of Crowning Achievement in the Academy of Life Interfaith Outreach Initiative. Welcome on this Thursday, May the 7th, 2026. This group is assigned to introduce you to the second principle of life for effective living that directs your attention to those with whom you share this precious gift of life. The spiritual and eternal approach to entering into phase 2 of life directs our attention to understanding and comprehending, or at least trying to comprehend the value and worth of others with whom we share this life. We're instructed to learn how, to the best of our ability, to view others as equals, which is part of the requirement for entering into the next phase of life. Because I believe we're encouraged to perfect the use of this energy of love, which is a life-generating energy when you come right down to it. When you truly love someone and you treat them with this energy of caring and love, you infuse life for them, beginning with your family, helping out in the community. When someone needs some encouragement, you're there to express this love in words of encouragement. You infuse and you create life. You refresh life. And I think that's why we have to be willing to focus on life. And this energy of love helps us to do that before we're going to be permitted to enter into the next phase of life. I can't imagine permitting someone to work in my business who hated my business, who hated the people who work in the company, who were there strictly for themselves and could give a care less about anybody else. And I believe to a certain degree that's a physical understanding of the spiritual. Love is the catalyst behind creating, generating, promoting, producing, sustaining, sharing, infusing, and yes, refreshing life. Our Creator is identified as life and also as love. And we were created in the image and likeness of our source of life and senior partner or Father in heaven. So we can, at this physical level, we can emulate the spiritual in a physical form. We can create, generate, produce, promote, sustain, share, infuse, and refresh life. We can do it. And love is a powerful energy that we borrow from our Father in heaven to use in edifying our Creator. And when we are preparing ourselves, perfecting ourselves, and encouraging others to do the same, and embracing others as equals, I believe we promote at that time, with heart, soul, and might, our devotion, love, and appreciation to our Creator. In our fairy tale-filled world, though, most have been conditioned to believe everything taught by the self-appointed leaders ruling within the numerous divisive and competing political religious movements. We have messed up. We've permitted posers and wannabes to direct our attention away from what was expressed from the mouth of our Creator. And here we are, separate, hating each other, considering some as our neighbors and others not as our neighbor. So we're in this arena, this era of division and competition. And it's not good for any of us. We have one Creator of life who is life and who is love, and He made us in His image and likeness, capable of emulating His energy of love within time and space. And once we start doing it by listening only to our Creator and what He's provided for us, we're still going to be maintained as divisive and separate groups, competing until that era comes when we'll all be taught how to properly conduct ourselves. More about that later. Most of our brothers and sisters in life have been taught about some made-up life giveaway program instituted from above. Unfortunately, that's not true. That idea was generated by sick and perverted self-appointed leadership, desiring a center stage position and willing to redirect your attention away from our loving Creator to himself or herself. In other words, we've let people get between us and the words of life as expressed from the mouth of our Creator. The control freaks, the fear-mongers, self-appointed leaders have effectively used fear, anxiety, and guilt-related issues to keep us separate from each other and to make us competitive. Our source of life and dear friend has never attempted, listen to this, our Creator has never attempted to force anything upon his very best creation, identified as his crowning achievement, reported to have been created in the image and likeness of our Father in heaven. Of our Father's best creation, you and me, heaven's crowning achievement, we've been granted free moral agency. Did you hear that? Free moral agency that permits each of us to choose or to decide when we're ready to do so with regard to any action or path on this earth. Certainly, I believe it is the will of our Creator that we embrace his divine instructions as personal commandments, but he will never force anything upon us. You'll never be forced to honor your parents. You'll never be forced to avoid hurting people, because you're the decision maker. You're the one who hears and reads the words of life as expressed from the mouth of our Creator, and then you decide if you're going to steal or not, or bear false witness or not, covet or not. It's up to you. Love God with heart, soul, and might, or perhaps not. You're in charge of that decision making. We will learn. That's why we're at this Academy of Life. We will learn by our successes as well as by our failures and the things we may suffer. Yet that's the purpose. Family, that's the whole reason we're in this time and space experience. Why, as living souls, we've been placed within a physical body, a husk, an earth school uniform. You can learn that way. When you can really touch the physical, you can do a lot of quick learning. For most, heaven's leadership and man's leadership are at odds. Man's developed leadership desires a rulership over the lives of others, whereas heaven's leadership, which is instructive leadership, permits you and me to learn how to rule over ourselves. And we do that by learning the ways and thoughts of our Creator and put them into place. We choose to do it his way. We choose not to steal. We choose to honor our parents. We choose not to bear false witness. And we choose to use love to generate additional life and refresh life on this earth. And let me remind you again, our Father in heaven has never authorized any of his crowning achievements to rule or exercise leadership or rulership in a dictatorial fashion over another fellow crowning achievement. Consider how you've been associating with others, and perhaps there is a better approach to others, and seeking to recognize others as equals, I believe, will infuse you with more joy for this precious gift of life you're currently enjoying. We are, as human beings, heaven's crowning achievement. Granted the ability to emulate, listen up, we can mimic, we can copy, we can emulate the eternal and spiritual essence of our senior partner in life, who is our source of being. We are equipped, listen again, we're equipped to choose to use compassion, forgiveness, mercy, and kindness in the performance of our representative duties on earth. We choose to embrace others as equals because it is the right thing to do. I realize we can't get along with everyone perfectly, but we should at least consider making that our focus. Others have a role to play too. It takes two to tango, as I've always been taught. If you're trying to reach out and do what is correct, what does infuse life and generates life, refreshes life, and the recipient doesn't want to participate, walk away. You have no obligation to remain trying to develop a relationship at this time that will never succeed because of the opposition on the part of the one you wish to receive your attention and caring. Thank you for stopping by Human Unity Project, where we talked about the second principle. And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk at Friends Freedom Fellowship about that third principle of life that directs your attention to yourself. Be well, be blessed. God bless you.